That's all right for you to say, but I don't want to talk to you lot. I mean, you brought the police with you. They're here. What's that about? Hey, how do you know what I've done? Hey, who told you? Hey, what did they say? Right, because it's not true anyway. The police are behind all this. They gave me that drink, right? They said they were trying to help me, but they didn't. They put some stuff in it, and now I stink. And they put it there. Them.
That's one of the things we want to talk about.
No! You see, you're here with them. They put you up to this.
We asked them here because your GP recommended it.
Your neighbours have been very concerned about you and some of the things that have been happening.
What about? What did they say?
Well, if you don't mind, it would be helpful to get your perspective on what's been happening lately. Would that be all right with you?
No! I'm not going to talk to you till I know what they've been saying. You see, they're at it all the time. I can hear them all the time. They go on and on and on. They don't stop. They don't sleep. They don't let me sleep.
What are they saying?
I can't hear all of it, right? Because they do noises, so that I can't hear it properly. But I know they're talking about me. They damaged my car, right? They're talking about that. They smashed my kitchen window. They're talking about that. And they got the kids round here calling me names and following me and kicking fucking football at me.
Is that why you threatened some of the children?
I didn't threaten them. I got annoyed. They're standing outside my house in the middle of the night calling out my name. I mean, it's not right. They're like fucking banshees, right? And since the police put that stuff in my drink, they go on and on and on and on about how I stink like it's my fault, and it's not. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's why we're here, in a way.
Get out of my face! You're here to section me and lock me up.
We want to assess how well you're coping with all these things that sound very stressful for you. With that, we have to look at whether or not we think you would benefit from treatment.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not fucking having it!
I think that was fairly inevitable, especially given the circumstances of the GP's first recommendation.
I was hoping to persuade him to go informally. I suppose that could have taken a week and got nowhere.
I know the police wound him up, but it was a good job we were here. It's not well, is it? I've not seen him like that for a long time.
I'm just glad they got him in the ambulance.
I just hope they're ready for him on the ward.
Speaking of which, I better get his papers up there. I'll call you later, yeah?
All right then.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, you're Mr. Andrews, aren't you? Shall I call you Ben? Just wanted to see if you're settling into the ward okay. Has anyone shown you round?
I shouldn't be here. You don't know what's going on, right? But I have to get out. I have to get home and sort things out. Otherwise, they're going to get in there and they're going to wreck the place and they're going to put things in there. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I have to get out.
Sorry, you can't. We have to give you some medication in a minute. Then maybe you'd like something to drink.
I'm not taking any more drugs. They've already put stuff into me, right? There's nothing wrong if you just leave me alone.
I'm sorry, but the doctor's prescribed some medication, and you have to take it.
Give it to the doctor. Why should I have to take it?
Because you're not very well at the moment, and you're on a section, Ben.
How does that give you the right to make me take stuff if I don't want to? I can't take it. Can't you see what's happening?
Mr. Andrews, can you sit down?
I don't want to sit down, and I don't want any of your poxy medication.
Mr. Andrews, please could you sit down?
Leave me alone.
Mr. Andrews, can you sit down? Hi. Mr. Andrews? Mr. Andrews? Or is it okay if I call you Ben? Hi. My name's Louise, and I'm here to talk to you about being on the ward.
I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. They stitched me up. The police know all about it, and they won't fucking... I can't talk to you about it because you're just keeping me in. It's not right, and you can't do it.
Well, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about.
I can't talk to you now.
I know you don't want to be here. And Femi, the social worker, explained to me what happened.
What did he say? What's going to happen?
If it's okay with you, I'd like to try and slow things down a bit. It would help me if you could let me tell you a few important things. I know you're going to have a lot of questions. Feel free to ask them. And if you're not clear about anything, don't worry. I'll go over it again for you. And I have some leaflets I want to give you, which you can use if you don't remember everything.
Look.
Can you hang on just for a minute? As I said, my name's Louise, and although I know you don't want to be here, I'd like to welcome you to the ward on behalf of the team.
Because I know it's going to happen. And the kids, I know it's going to happen. You're keeping me
Ben?
here. You're not allowed. You're keeping me here, and you're not allowed.
Ben, I know this might be hard for you to focus on, but I want to be specific about what's happened today. It probably has been explained, but I want to make sure we're as clear as possible. When Dr. Newman and Femi saw you, they decided that you should be detained.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to know. I can't think.
I'm sorry, Ben, but I have to go through this with you.
You're doing bollocks, you don't. You're just doing this to wind me up.
It might feel like that, but...
Just leave me alone, okay? I can't... I've had enough. I've had enough.
What is it you'd most like just now?
You know what I want. I want to go home.
It's all right, Ben. I understand that you find all this very difficult and that you don't want to be here. Do you think you could just sit down and talk about that with me?
No.
It's difficult to help you if we can't talk about what you want.
You know what I want. I want to get out.
Okay, in part, that's what I want to talk to you about. And it'd just be easier if you could sit down with me. Then we can talk about what you want.
What do you mean? What?
You want to go home, and at the moment we're saying that you have to stay here, but we really do want to help you leave here as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah, how are you going to do that, though, with the psychiatrist and the police and everything?
Well, the police are separate to all this, but the psychiatrist, Dr. Newman, is part of the team with us. Now, the first thing I have to do is explain your rights.
What rights?
Because you're detained, held here under the Mental Health Act, you have the right to appeal.
It's too much. I can't. You see, I don't... It's too much!
You mean it's too much for you to talk about right now?
I can't think about it. I've got so much other stuff to worry about.
All right, Ben. But I need to make sure this bit's clear. It's really important. Look, I know you don't want to be here and you think it's wrong.
Yeah, I do. I think it's wrong.
It's okay. But a legal decision has been made to keep you here for up to 6 months. Now, you have the legal right to appeal against that, and we'll help you with that process if that's what you want to do. I'll give you some information that you can read when you feel ready, and we'll talk about this later on. Don't want you to feel there's any pressure. Ben, you remember I said I'd go through with you what your rights are whilst you're under section? And you know you've just been placed under Section 3 of the Mental Health Act. Just need to go through this leaflet with you to make sure you're clear about what it means. and to check that you understand.
I'm not on any fucking section. You're all in this together, CID, fascist pigs, and fucking neighbours, all of you.
Ben, I need to make sure you understand the information about your detention in hospital. Which is why I need to go through this leaflet with you.
My head's going to explode.
Okay. Do you want me to come back later?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll leave this leaflet here with you. Okay? Come back later and we'll go through it together. Your mum's coming in later on, isn't she?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I give her a copy of the leaflet?
Why?
Well, it might be helpful for her to understand what being on Section 3 means. Also explains your rights to appeal.
Yeah, whatever. Just give me a break.
Okay. Do you want a drink?
Yeah, tea. 2 sugars.
Okay. There you go. Ben, you okay for me to go through this with you now?
I suppose.
You're on Section 3 of the Mental Health Act. Now, what this means is the doctors have decided that you need to be in hospital for medical treatment. Now, you could be detained for up to 6 months. Do you understand this so far, Ben?
Yeah.
Now, you can appeal against your section. Now, to do this, you can either write to the hospital managers at this address, or you can also apply to the Mental Health Review Tribunal for your discharge. You can do this any time within the 6 months of your detention.
I can't read this. It's my eyes.
Okay, it's no problem, Ben. Would you like me to get this blown up for you, so the words are bigger?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. There you go. You okay for me to continue, Ben?
Yeah.
We were talking about the Mental Health Review Tribunal, if you remember. Now, the tribunal is independent of the hospital. Now, they'll come and hold a meeting with you and listen to your concerns. They'll meet with your mum if you want, and anyone who might represent you. They'll also meet with the doctors and other members of the team involved in your care. And from this, they'll decide whether it's right that you should continue to be detained.
What if I don't want someone I know to represent me?
For example, you are entitled to use a solicitor, which would be provided free of charge.
Free? I want my solicitor. I want to sue you fuckers, and my neighbours and their lives, because they're bastards, all of them, right? And they've got to be stopped, all right? Are they dead? Promise me that they are dead.
Ben, I can see that this is upsetting for you. Just try and stay calm. I'm just explaining how the review tribunal works. You okay for me to continue?
No, I'm not fucking okay.
Shall I come back later?
Do whatever you want. You, the neighbours, you're all at it.
I'll come back tomorrow, Ben. I'll finish this with you then. But I do want to see what we can do to help you feel in control of things right now. Because I am concerned with how you seem to get very distressed very quickly. I began to go through the Section 3 leaflet and explain to Ben his rights at approximately 1400 hours, shortly after he arrived. Although I managed to explain most of the leaflet, he appeared easily aroused and agitated. I'm not sure if he completely took it in. He did agree for his mum, next of kin, to have a copy which I gave to her later. I read through it with her. I've entered all this information into the 132 checklist form. Please note I will go through his rights again with him tomorrow. He appeared too upset today to take it in. I haven't yet explained to him about the rules regarding treatment in the first 3 months. Signed, Louise Black, staff nurse. Kathy, I'm about to go off duty. Can I hand over some information about Ben Andrews, please? As the team that are looking after your welfare, we've talked about giving you some medication to try and help you with these things that are worrying you.
I don't want any medication, and you can't make me take it!
I understand that you don't like taking it, but we know that it's helped you in the past and think that it could help you now.
No! 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 No!
We're very concerned about how tough things have been for you.
I said no. I mean it.
What's the reason you don't like taking your medication, Ben?
It makes me fat. Makes me grow tits, for fuck's sake. I'm even leaking goat's milk. The fucking police are turning me into a woman, and you think this is good for me?
The problem is, we're really concerned about how you are now. We've got to balance that with you experiencing such bad side effects. I wasn't aware of that. But we do have some newer medication which might suit you better.
I'm not taking them.
I know you don't want to take them, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist because of our concerns about you. Because you're detained here under Section 3 of the Mental Health Act, we are allowed to give you medication even if you disagree. Obviously, I hope that won't be the case. But I think at present, we will have to take that decision for you.
I'm not taking them, no way!
Don't forget that they have helped you before. And we will look at a different drug that shouldn't give you such bad side effects. Let me give you a leaflet about the drug I'm hoping might work for you. Have a read of it. And if you have any questions, talk to Louise, or we can discuss it tomorrow. So, Ben, how have you been these last few days on the ward?
I've been all right. Nurse said I might be able to go home on leave. When can I go?
The team say that you're much calmer, less troubled and distressed, and more in control of your anger. Do you still have any thoughts about harming people?
Not really.
Have you the same thoughts in wanting to harm your neighbours?
Just as long as they stay away from me.
And what would happen if you saw them when you were at home?
I don't know. You're not stopping me from going home.
No, we're trying hard to make sure you can go home, but that everything will go smoothly. You went out yesterday with your mum for 2 hours to the local shops. That seemed to go well for both of you. We're trying to ensure that your leave is gradual and you don't feel overwhelmed by things. I think it would be good for you to try some leave at home. How would you feel about that? Would you be able to manage?
Oh, yeah, of course I'd manage. I'm not stupid. I don't need treating like a kid.
I didn't mean to give you that impression, and I'm sorry if that's how I've come across. I just need to make sure you're going to be okay. I've met with Ben and went through with him how he felt he's been. Louise, you've spoken with Ben and his mum together.
Yeah, Mum's happy for Ben to go home. When we spoke, Ben helped me draw up a good crisis and contingency plan. We've been through it a couple of times and he seems very clear about it. And I've told Vic, who's on late shift tonight, so he knows Ben might ring. Vic and Ben get on pretty well.
Okay. What have we agreed? Go home today and come back tomorrow evening.
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah.
Shall I inform Ben, see if he's in agreement?
Yes, please, and let me know the outcome. I'll write it up and give Ben a copy of the form. agreed to go on leave for 11 a.m. today, 26th of August, to return on the 27th of August at 2000 hours. His condition of leave will be to reside at 11 Champney Gardens, Battersea. Will be collected by Mother Pryor and will return on the 27th of August by public transport. The MDT has agreed to review again on the 28th of August with Ben upon his return. Right, must go out with the old Section 17 form from yesterday.
Agreed at MDT meeting with Ben that he will go for overnight leave to his mother's house and return on the 28th of August. Ben is aware that the conditions of his leave are that he stays with his mother and he returns before 8 p.m. on the 28th of August. The team felt, as did Ben and his mother, that his 2-hour leave went well yesterday and all were happy for Ben to try overnight leave tomorrow as stated. Ben and Mum both have a copy of the form. For AWOL purposes, should he in the event fail to return, he was wearing blue jeans, a grey t-shirt, denim jacket and black trainers.